Hey guys, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. I mean, seriously, it does not work without you guys. So it's finally warmed up a little bit today, and I'm gonna get out here and cut this grass. You know, one of those sayings that they always say. Be careful what you wish for because you might just get it. Some of you will remember last year I was rebuilding this wall over here, this retaining wall and stuff, because I was trying to get grass to grow, and I dug it all up, I tilled it up, I worked the heck out of it because I was trying to get this stuff to grow and trying to get grass to grow, and literally it didn't do much. Well, it's growing now. Look at it. Hold it. Look at this. Come over here. Look at this. It's growing now. Look at it. It's still got some weeds in there, but now it seems like I need to cut it like every 3 days or so. So we finally stopped raining, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it right here, right now. Now I'm holding a natter day. I got a group. I got Jet D. You all know Jet. You know Q, who let the dogs out. You know Mike J, and myself. We got a Marco Polo line, and basically we all bitch and moan about being locked up and, married husband things, kind of like a woman's gossip channel. But we'll just leave it at that, okay? So they're always talking about natter days. Because, Q's like, I'm going to go ahead and chill and get me a natter day. And I was like, is that some Houston shit that you're talking about? I ain't never heard of no natter days. What is a natter day? I mean, I kept hearing this for weeks, and I finally said, listen, I don't mean any harm, but is that some like Houston Southern thing that you can talk about natter days? He said, no, man, it's a natural light beer, strawberry lemonade, natter day. Now, I ain't a beer drinker. I'm a rum man. I got out of beer once I got out of college, when I actually had a few dollars to buy some good stuff. But I just to humor them, I saw this at the store today. I said, you got to try it. So let me try it. Okay. Interesting bouquet. It's got a little bit of a floral scent to it. Not as bad as a regular beer. It's not harsh. Let me try it again. It has kind of a soapy taste in it. Anybody who's had natter days, does it have a little bit of a like you just washed your hands and you grab some lunch meat and you can taste a little bit of the soap on it? Well, it's not the worst thing I've had. It's actually not that bad. It's kind of like a cross between a Mike's Lemonade and a beer. That's what it kind of, that's what it really feels like. So, anyway, you didn't come in here for beer tasting. What you came in here for is apparently the Dallas Cowboys are still trying to make moves. They're still trying to improve themselves before the draft, because if you're going to make a move, it's best to know which moves you're going to make before the draft, so that way you're not doubling up on draft picks. And apparently, I got to write this down because I got to make sure I get this stuff right, because what we're trying to do here on the Joe Boo Sports Report is trying to have truth in advertising. Well, not advertising. Truth in what we say in here, that we got it right. So, the Cowboys are interested in trading for one or two players, and maybe more, slot receivers to replace Randall Cobb. We have, I'm having a brain fart. Christian Kirk, because I got his numbers down. I didn't have the name on it, and I forgot the name because I'm getting old and forgetful. And it might Might be the natter days kind of hitting me. But Christian Kirk, who's with the Cardinals, Christian Kirk, I remember talking about him at the draft a couple of years ago. Not Captain Kirk, but Christian Kirk. With Murray throwing last year to him, he had a pretty good season. 68 receptions, 709 yards, 10.4 average, 3 TDs. The year before, 43, 509, 13.7 and 3 TDs. The other person, Marquise Goodwin, who's with San Fran, his numbers aren't anywhere near as good, and which means you'll probably have a better chance of getting him, especially on the cheap. But he had 12 receptions, 186 yards, 15.5 yards per reception, 1 TD. His rookie year, he had 23 receptions for 395 yards, 17.2 yards per completion. And I know what you guys will say. Well, first thing you say, Christian Kirk, that's not too bad. Here's an interesting thing for you, and this is one of those things that you always hear. There's perception and there's reality. When they talk about my quarterback, Dak Prescott, they say he's trash, okay? That Dak Prescott couldn't elevate the people around him. And they lost games and things because Dak's not that kind of quarterback. A franchise quarterback elevates people around him. And I've said this thing before, and you guys know I'm like a broken record. But when you think of Randall Cobb, when we first looked at signing Randall Cobb, people were like, oh, no. We need to keep Beasley, man. We're crazy. You know, Cobb has been injured. He's not doing, he's got Aaron Rodgers throwing to him, and he ain't done nothing since 2014, right? Because coming off his last season there in Green Bay, he had 38 receptions, 383 yards, 10.1 per completion, and 2 touchdowns. So if you got Aaron Rodgers throwing to that guy, and that's his numbers, you bring him with Dak Prescott, he's going to be even worse, man. That's a waste. But lo and behold, here's what happened with Randall Cobb last year. 55 receptions, 828 yards, 15.1 per completion, 3 touchdowns. And there were 3 touchdowns receptions that he had that were called back. I think one of them was for tripping by the offensive line. That was a phantom one. So regardless of what the talking heads say about great quarterbacks elevate the people around him, Dak Prescott has elevated the wide receiver. We saw that with Amari Cooper. You know, Derek Carr was throwing to him, and all of a sudden he comes with Dak Prescott. He's got career numbers. So if that's the case, and you bring in Christian Kirk or Marquise Goodwin, and we follow that same pattern that we've had between Amari and Randall Cobb and things, where they are elevating their play because not just because of Dak, but also because of the other players around them. It's a lot easier to get great numbers when you have to worry about an Amari Cooper, or when you have to worry about a Michael Gallup, when you got a Zeke Elliott back there. All the focus isn't on me to be the guy. And I got to say that Dak Prescott, to me, is a lot better quarterback than Murray. And the position that the Cowboys are in is a lot better position than what the Cardinals were. So you could look for either of those guys to possibly do better than what they did last year. I'm happy for one hearing this, because I'm sick and tired of people talking about the Cowboys need to draft a wide receiver in the first round. The other thing you have to understand, too, is if you get a young guy like this, and this is where a lot of you people don't seem to understand, when you say, let's bring in Dez and put him as a slot receiver. Well, you can try that. I wish they had tried that years ago when he was younger and healthier. But the problem is your third wide receiver should be a special teams guy as well. And special teams is a position that we need help in. When we bought Trayvon Austin they thought he was going to be a kick returner, wide receiver / running back. He was a multi-tool type of player. But the problem is he could not stay healthy. So that's one of the problems of having Dez Bryant. Are you bringing him in to be a third wide receiver and lose the special team part of it? or are you trying to make him the number one and put Amari Cooper there? Either way, you still don't have a special team component. We'll have to wait and see if anything breaks on that. But we got you covered. Now, let me get my ass over here and cut the grass. And I can smell my smoke. I found some ribs. I got some ribs cooking for dinner tonight. I'll see you later.